Counterstrike is one of the biggest esports in the world. And twice a year, fans gather in one place for the World Championships, known as the Majors.
Copenhagen, make some noise!
Hosted by this guy.
I am your host, Richard Lewis.
Who, as it turns out, I've been working for the last 6 years. Richard is mostly an esports journalist who writes stories for Substack and live streams on Twitch. I then cut these Twitch live stream VODs into YouTube videos. But he also does event work like this. And for this event, he asked me to come along to try and make some content and document the event a little bit. So I packed up my camera gear, hopped on a train, and went to Copenhagen. I arrived a few days before the event started, so I had some time to explore Copenhagen and take some photos. For the event itself, I was going to be shooting on digital, but I also brought one film camera along. This time I chose my Praktica Super TL2 with a Helios 44M lens on there. This is a Soviet-era vintage lens, which is known for its weird swirly bokeh. This is my first time shooting it, and I got some okay results with it. I had some of the new Harman Phoenix film loaded up in my camera, so I was mostly on the lookout to photograph red things around the city. Alright, event day rolls around and it's time to head into the arena. The atmosphere in the Royal Arena in Copenhagen was absolutely fantastic. This is the first major championship since the release of the new version of the game, Counter-Strike 2, and the fans were excited for it. Most of the photos I got from the event were players from the walkouts on the stage. A lot of the work I do for Richard requires me to make thumbnails, often about some of these esports players, so it's good for me to have a database of these photos that I can use whenever I need to. Now, there's one shot that I got of a player that really stands out to me, but it requires a little bit of backstory. So going into this event, one of the leading teams in the world right now is G2, with their in-game leader, Hooky. Hooky is a player who is revered by part of the community as a good leader, but criticized by others for his performance on the server. In the final round of the elimination stage, right before they get to the arena, G2 are facing off against a tough opponent in Virtus.pro. And in a critical moment in the game, Hooky is up against the leader of Virtus.pro, James.
The winner of this is teed up to win the map.
Now, James gets struck down by what is labeled
Divine Intervention!
And he is disconnected from the game. This allows Hooky to secure the round and change the tide of the whole match.
Jay? Has he crashed? He's crashed! Oh no! In a pivotal round! He's at the back of the site in the open! That was the opener post-spawn. That's a dream scenario. G2 have been given road to run. Can they close the gap? Mir hits his. It's 1-for-1. It's only Flit and G2 miraculously saving themselves yet again. Nice. He was at quad, he was safe. Strafed into the open.
On the brink of being eliminated, G2 managed to snatch victory away from Virtus.pro, and they move on to the next round. A few days later, they find themselves staring down Mouse in the quarterfinals. Now, in the background, something has been brewing that has very little to do with the game at all. See, G2 is sponsored by this gambling company called CSGO Roll. And CSGO Roll has been having some beef with another gambling company called CSGO Empire. Now, the guy who owns CSGO Empire hired people to rush the stage during the G2 match in order to get attention or something. I don't really know. But yeah, he paid people to rush the stage and disrupt the match. Now, security handled the incident. However, while tackling one of the stage invaders, the trophy fell on his head and broke in half. The more experienced players on G2 were less fazed by this incident than the younger players on Mouse. So once again, G2 move on to the next round. Alright, the following day, it's semi-final time. The repaired trophy is brought out by Pasha Biceps, a retired pro from Poland who cycled all the way from Poland to Copenhagen to be at the event. In G2 semi-final, they face off against NaVi. NaVi is a team that up until very recently had the best player to ever play the game on the team. This is the first major they've attended without him on the roster.
NaVi take an early lead, but G2 come back and take it all the way down to the wire on map 3.
They're waiting for it. Modesty going to throw out the smoke, but we need a flash. Oh no, he goes ahead of it. Oh no, it's going to be JL a bit. Modesty, what have you got? Misses his first, getting overrun. It looks like G2's time here in Copenhagen is over as JL racks up another 28 frags and counting. Hunter brought out. It's all on Nexa. NaVi pulled into the grand finals. One more kill. Wonderful gets it. Sometimes your opponent's just having a really good day.
After an intense battle on 3 maps, NaVi take the victory, and it's the end of the road for G2. This means it's time for Hooky to face the music on the big stage. And right before the interview started, I managed to get this shot. All the lead up, the divine intervention, the chaos, only to fall so close to the finish line. The next day, it's time for the finals. And before the finals can begin, there's a music performance, which landed me a couple of pretty cool shots. In the finals, the young NaVi team are facing off against FaZe Clan, led by Kerrigan. Kerrigan last won a major championship in Antwerp in 2022, but the team has been very dominant leading up to this event, reaching the finals of almost every big tournament leading up to the major. They face off for the trophy, a prize of over $1 million, and to go down in history as the first team in CS2 to win a major championship. The final also goes all the way to the 3rd map, but after all is said and done, NaVi emerges victorious and takes home the prize. After an incredible performance at this event, JL takes home the MVP award, and here's some shots of them celebrating their victory. I had an amazing time in Copenhagen. I got to meet a lot of very cool people. It was nice to finally meet Richard in person for the first time after working with him for almost 6 years. And it was cool to see a lot of the broadcast talent that I've been watching on live streams for the past 6, 7, 8 years as well. I even got to meet some fans of the content I get to work on, which made the work more real in a way. Because for me, it's just sitting in my room, pushing buttons on my laptop. But being in an arena filled with people who are fans of the game, and a lot of them are familiar with the work that I do, it's a pretty surreal experience. It was very cool. So I want to thank Richard and PGL for getting me out there and giving me access to the event. I got to make some work that I'm very proud of. We plan to make these photos available for use by the community. So when we put that up, I'll put a link in the pinned comment below and you can access them there. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you on the next one.